Hey, what's up YouTube? Your boy Chris. I'm out in the Caliente garage. In this video, I will be demonstrating to you how to remove the front wheel from the newer style Honda Goldwing. This applies through year models 2018 through year models 2022. So stay tuned to this video and I'm going to show you how I do it. Let's get started. Goldwing Rider, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who is fearless. A young loner on a crusade to champion the cause in a world of reckless automobiles. These are my motovlogs. To remove this front wheel from the Honda Goldwing, the first step is to remove the front fender. And to do this, I will be using a 5mm T-handle Allen to take out the bolts to remove the fender. You have a little plastic washer on this bolt. Note that the bolts are the same size, but the bottom bolt has the plastic washer. The top bolt does not. I'm gonna do the same to the other side. Now I can remove the front fender. Next, I'm going to start removing the side covers or the ring of fire. So underneath the side covers, you got two Allen screws. The sizes are 3mm. You have one here and one here. We need to remove these two screws, these 3mm screws on both sides. One toward the back. So now that I have the two 3mm screws on the bottom, now I can pop off the side covers. So I have the left caliper cover hanging with these caliper hangers, and I'm hanging them on the forks so I don't have to disconnect the wires, and this will allow me to remove the wheel without having to remove the entire left rotor cover. I'm going to take this Allen key, kind of just stick it in the front end of the Goldwing just to keep the front wheel from being able to move right to left. So next I can work on the rotor cover on the opposite side. There's one. There's two. So I'm going to remove the right ring of fire. I'm going to remove one zip tie just to give myself a little bit of slack. So now I can hang the rotor cover with my caliper hooks. So now that I have the left and right rotor covers hanging on my caliper hangers, now I can prepare to remove the right and left brake calipers. To remove the right and left brake caliper from the front wheel of the Honda Goldwing, I have two bolts here, one at the top, one at the bottom, for a total of two. I will be using a size 14 millimeter socket along with the braking bar to remove these two bolts, and then I can back off the calipers. Bottom bolt. And this your top bolt. The bolts are the same size. I'm going to release the clip. And now I can just kind of work the caliper back off of the brake rotor. We're going to just let this hang for now, and we're going to do the same to the other side. To remove the right brake caliper, we have a top bolt and a bottom bolt for a total of two. We're going to be using size 14 millimeter to remove those two bolts. Attach my braking bar. Do the same to the top bolt. The top bolt and the bottom bolt are the exact same. So now I can just work the brake caliper from the rotor. So I'm going to just let the brake calipers hang here temporarily. So now that I have the brake calipers off of the rotors, and now I can work on the pinch bolts on the right and left side, I will be using a 10mm open box wrench to remove the lower pinch bolts. I don't have to take them all the way out. I just want to get them loose. Now that I have the pinch bolts loose on the right side, let's do the left side. Now that I have the lower pinch bolts loose on both sides, and now I can remove the axle nut. So to remove the axle nut, I will be using a 22mm socket. So looking at the axle that runs through the front wheel, it looks like they're using a special tool to remove this axle. So I'm going to attempt to just kind of tap it on the other side using a 1/2-inch socket and see if I can kind of bump it out of place. I'm going to take a 1/2-inch socket and its dead blow and see if I can kind of tap it out of place. So as you can see, the axle is coming out. I'm going to continue to tap it on the other side. And I'm just using a 1/2-inch socket. I want to make sure that the diameter is wide enough where it doesn't ruin the threads on the inside of the axle. I'm going to take a screwdriver and I'm going to stick it through the axle and just pull it out like so, just working it out. So now the front wheel is actually ready to drop down. I'm going to hold it with one hand, or I can put a jack underneath the bottom of the front wheel, and when I pull out the axle, the front wheel will be ready to drop down. I can hold the front wheel and just pull out the axle. There's the axle. And now I can gently pull out the front wheel and lower it down. Smaller spacer on the right, larger spacer on the left. Smaller spacer on the right, larger spacer on the left, the side with the ABS pulsar ring. So this is how you remove the front wheel of a 2018 through 2022 Honda Goldwing. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to put them down in the comment section below. Thanks.